Hello and welcome to this Liverpool news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. My name is Conor and I'm going to take you through all of the latest Liverpool news, including the future of Mohamed Salah, his return to Liverpool after the AFCON, Arne Slot's pre-Burnley press conference, and a few other bits and pieces as well. So please do hit the like button before we get into it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, and let's jump straight into the news. Let's start off with Mohamed Salah then. So Arne Slot, speaking in his press conference this morning, said this. First of all, he plays a big game for Egypt on Saturday, and then he comes back. I am happy he comes back. Mo has been so important for this club and me, so I'm happy he is back, and even if I had 15 attackers, I would be happy to see Mo back, but that is not our situation. Happy to have him back after an important game tomorrow. Arna did mention the fact as well that they are still in discussions with Mohamed Salah about whether he will return for the Marseille game on Wednesday or Bournemouth away at the weekend, so still a decision to be made there. If you're to ask me, I would say Wednesday might come a little bit too quick for him just with the travelling, and kind of depends how much he plays on Saturday as well, to be fair. Like if he plays a full 90 minutes, maybe he does just take the Wednesday off and then comes back fresh for the Bournemouth game next week. But I would like him in the squad for the Marseille game, obviously. Like he's a big game player, especially Champions League. That game is huge. Like if we get a win in that, we're looking very good to finish in the top 8. But I think it might come a little bit too early for him. Hopefully I'm wrong, but yeah, I would love to see him in the squad on Wednesday. Hopefully as well they can win that third place playoff. At least then they'll have a little bit of a boost before they come back, because I'm sure he's fairly disappointed, and hopefully they can win that third place playoff as well, because like that would have been so bitterly disappointing to not get to the final, especially being knocked out by Sadio Mane's Senegal as well. Like that's Mohamed Salah's last chance of winning an AFCON, and I'm sure he is pretty sad about that. So if he could get some sort of a boost, he can come back then on a high, just get his head back down, just start working, just get back to being the player we know he can be and is still, because he's not washed. I'm not having that. He's not finished. Mohamed Salah will be back. He will hit those levels again. I'm absolutely certain of it. We do have a little piece here then around the long-term future of Mohamed Salah, and this is from an account on X called Krish. Now, I wouldn't be like 100% believing this as a source, but I think what it says here makes a lot of sense and could be a scenario which does come to fruition. So this report says, Saudi Pro League clubs are closely following the situation of Mohamed Salah at Liverpool for the summer transfer window. Al Hilal and Al Ittihad are both interested in signing Mohamed Salah in the summer and are ready to offer around £50 million to Liverpool for an agreement. Sources suggest that the Saudi Pro League have been targeting Mohamed Salah for the past 2 years and are prepared to offer him a huge contract close to the level of Cristiano Ronaldo. Liverpool are open to selling Mohamed Salah in the summer, but will only consider proposals if the player gives the green light to leave the club. Final decision will be on Mohamed Salah. Important situation to monitor in the coming months. As always said, summer will be important for Mo Salah. No chance for January move. Again, I wouldn't take this as gospel, like this is not a reliable account by any stretch, but I think like a £50 million bid would certainly make the club, it would definitely make them consider it, like let's be honest here, especially if Mohamed Salah did want to leave. I think that's the most important thing for me here. Like I don't think Salah wants to leave, and that's why I don't think it will happen in January, but maybe if there's another 6 months of turbulence, he'll say, right, look, I've had enough, I need to move off. But ultimately, I think it should come down to Mohamed Salah. Like, Salah is such a legend of this football club. He deserves to make that decision himself. He deserves to say, I want to leave, I want to stay. He should be the one that calls an end on his time at Liverpool. He can get a proper send-off then and stuff. Like, I don't want a situation where he's, like, manipulated into being sold and he's just, like, flogged just for a few quid. Like, he deserves more respect than that. He deserves a proper send-off, and he deserves to, again, just make his own decision on when his Liverpool career comes to an end. And it could be the summer, to be fair. Like, maybe he does stay another year, finishes out his contract, and then leaves, but definitely not in January. Like, it's too far gone at this point. I'm sure we would have heard more at this point. Look, it is a really interesting situation. It's definitely one to keep an eye on in the coming months, but if you were to ask me, I would say I hope he does stay until the end of his contract, because I think he just, again, like I said, I don't think he's finished by any stretch. Particularly if another manager comes in, I'll be very intrigued to see what they do to get the best out of him, because I don't think Arne Slot is playing to his strengths in all honesty. So, interesting one, but yeah, I would rule out a January move. Summer move could happen, but yeah. Let me know as well, would you take £50 million in the summer? I think that sounds about fair, to be fair. Like, he has 1 year left in his contract at that point. He is getting on in years, and £50 million will be something to consider anyway. I'm not sure it's an absolutely yes, push him out the door amount of money for the club's point of view, but I think £50 million will certainly start a conversation. Let's fly through some of the press conference quotes then. So Arne Slot, speaking about Andy Robertson, said, I think I had to give him a big compliment over what he said. Very mature, and I understand everything he said. Every player should have the same feeling who doesn't start every game, but I am really happy to hear he finds joy in his current position and he understands how important he is and has been for this club. He hasn't played as much as he would have hoped, But what he said in the media was a big compliment. That, of course, was Andy Robertson speaking about the fact that he's in talks over a new contract. He wants to play more, but he does respect where he is in the squad, still enjoys it, still wants to play for Liverpool, and I think there's a good chance he gets a new contract, to be fair. I'd imagine like a 1 year deal is on the table, or a 1 year plus another year option or something like that, but wouldn't be surprised if Andy Robertson does stay. I would love him to stay. I'm not really ready to say goodbye to Andy Robertson, to be honest. Like, I do love him as a man and a player, so hopefully he can sort that out and hopefully he stays, because he's a great option. I think Milos Kerkez will nail down that starting spot more so in the next 6 months and then next year. But Andy Robertson, definitely not a bad character to have around and a good option on the left side as well. Arna was then asked about Bradley's injury potentially forcing Liverpool into the market, and he said, "I think everyone is aligned about the challenges we are facing. That is not to say that we are going to act, but there is nobody who has a different opinion on it." So him and the management or people above him are in agreement on what their plan is. Didn't exactly say what that plan was, but it doesn't sound like we're signing a right back. Speaking about Calvin Ramsey then, he says, "It's great for him where he is at the moment. Half a year ago he came back and was in the under-21s. It's a big chance he's having now to come to the first team. When someone is unlucky with injuries, someone has a chance, and that's the case with Calvin. But I still think I have better options to play, but when I was running out of options, he's already shown he's good enough to be in and around our players." Like, maybe I'm reading this wrong, and maybe just the fact that I have a bit of a dislike for Arne Slot at this point, or like, no, I don't dislike the man overall, but I'd say I probably am being a bit nitpicky. But does that not just sound like he's basically said, I don't rate Calvin Ramsey, but he's all right when absolutely everyone else isn't available? Like, but I still think I have better options to play. Fair enough, he has Frimpong, he has Soboslai, Curtis Jones, who can slot in there. Like, fair enough, they are decent options. Joe Gomez as well. But that last sentence, when I was running out of options, he's already shown he's good enough to be in around our players. So basically, Calvin Ramsey won't get a chance unless everyone is unavailable. That's what I'm reading in that one. I think that's a bit weird to say. Like, that's not going to really give Calvin Ramsey like much pep in his step, is it? That's not going to fill him full of confidence or anything. Again, I find that a bit weird, and just some of the stuff he comes out with just weird. Locke continued then to say, "We haven't put ourselves in the most ideal position, especially when you look at where we were after 5 games, but now we are competing with a lot of teams for fourth. Still a lot to play for in the Premier League, and it's important we qualify for Champions League. Missing out had a big impact on the club. Can't be understated how important getting top 4 is, to be honest, or top 5 even, if it is going to be top 5 again this year. But Champions League qualification has to be done. Absolute bare minimum. Like, fair play if we do get it, then good, but it's just not enough. That is the absolute base level of what we should expect at this football club." He continued then, "We're waiting for a moment where we can kickstart our season even more than in the last 11 games. Like, if we go on a winning streak, that would be nice, Arna. Like, fair enough, we're unbeaten, but 11 wins in a row would be very nice, Arna. I'm just going to put that out there. 11 wins, and then we'll talk about your long-term future." Arna also did confirm that there's no fresh injuries ahead of the Burnley game, which is fantastic as well. Obviously, like, we're basically decimated at this point. We can't afford any more injuries, so that is a bit of a boost at least. Last thing I wanted to bring to you this morning then was this from Alex Crook of Talksport. He was speaking about Manchester United's interest, or lack of interest somehow, in Luis Enrique. So see what you make of this, because Alex Crook has said Manchester United have reservations about Luis Enrique due to his lack of management experience, specifically in the Premier League. Premier League experience is quite high on the club's checklist when it comes to potential candidates for the manager's position. Like, are we actually at the point now where Man United are pretending they don't want one of the best managers in the world because he's never managed in the Premier League? Is that genuinely the line they're putting out there now? Like, Luis Enrique is never going to Manchester United, let's be honest. That club is a complete and utter shit show. Why on God's green earth would he want to go there when he'd have the pick of probably Liverpool, Man City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, but like any club would bend over backwards to get Luis Enrique. Let's be honest, like, he is that good. So, like, are we genuinely saying then, like, Man United would prefer, like, basically, let's say Sean Dyche, Sam Allardyce, these kind of managers, Premier League proven, rather than Luis Enrique? Like, just it's so obvious that they're going to be rejected by Luis Enrique if they go near him. So now they're putting out lines basically saying, "Oh, we didn't want him anyway. Like, he's never managed in England. Why would we want him?" Like, oh, stupid manager. He's no good. Like, he's never managed against Burnley. Like, ugh. I just found that one weird, to be honest. But yeah, make up your mind on that one. Let me know in the comments below. That's all from me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the big thumbs up button, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Craig will have a video in the afternoon, live again this evening as usual. And just keep an eye out. Turn on your notifications. You'll see everything. Plenty of content going out over the next couple of days. We have the Burnley watch along tomorrow. That's starting at 1:45, followed by Craig's match reaction, the player ratings and all that stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon.